If you have ever wanted to learn how to do these 3 tracking effects in DaVinci Resolve, then this video is for you. Make sure to stay till the end because I saved the best effect for last. I will be going in complete detail on each effect and how you can add on top of them to make them better. So sit back, open DaVinci, and take notes. Effect 1, camera tracking. Alright guys, so the first effect I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do is called camera tracking. You can put this on any type of moving object, maybe my hand waving around, maybe my head moving players, maybe a ball flying through the air, really anything that is on screen and moving. Alright, now for this first effect, camera tracking, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and go into DaVinci. We're going to be using this clip of me in the rain, after it rained. That was a really quick turnaround from the rain back to the sun, but now it's really nice out. We're going to finish this hole. I'm an idiot. All right, we're gonna track my face and have it be moving with my movements. So since I wanna keep this color grade on there, I'm gonna go ahead and click New Fusion Clip, and then we'll click the Fusion page. All right, you're gonna click on Media in 1, click Shift Space, and open a planar tracker node. This one right here. Click on the planar tracker node, go to frame 0, change the tracker to hybrid point area, and change it to translation. Before you do anything else, make sure that your reference time is on 0 and click set, which that just means that your keyframe or where you're starting is at frame 0, because you want it to go for the entire clip. Make sure that you are once again clicked onto the planar tracker node, because then you can have this crosshair thing, which will help us, which is how we will circle my face and give it all the data it needs to track. So what I recommend doing is on a face shot, get your hair in there too, because that gives it just more stuff to focus on, and it'll help give you a lot more points that it'll track onto. In the last step, when we do this thing again, I put it on a smooth wall and it didn't work because there's no points there. You need to have stuff for it to be able to track onto. And the depth in lighting and color and shadows in my hair will give it a lot of stuff to track onto. Once you've got your tracking circle in there, go ahead and click Track to End. As you can see, it's getting a lot of points from my hair, from my face, and the shadows right there. It is completely tracked all the way through. Once you do that, I want you to go up to Operation Mode and change it to Stabilize. Quick turnaround from the rain. What that'll do is stabilize your head in 1 point, but as you can see, it leaves these little areas back to the sun, but now it's really nice out. Where there's nothing there. So go back to the edit page. This is what I do at least, and I'll go ahead and add guidelines, and I'll keep it at the center. And up in this transform box, I want you to zoom it in. And if I wanted me to still be on the middle third, I could just leave it like that. Turn around from the rain, and it looks pretty good. But what I want to do is I want to have my nose centered on this X, or on this cross. We'll put it right there to really show that it's tracking onto my face. So I'm just going to zoom it in. And since it's 4K, it should be in really good quality no matter what. And I'll put it on my nose. And as you see, when we watch this clip back through, it'll be on my nose the entire time. Got a little lag right there. And you can redo that tracking as much as you can, or as much as you want. You can change up the size of your tracking circle and you'll get different results each time. So maybe just play with it a couple more times until you get exactly what you want. But you know, I think that looks pretty good. Now, a way that you can make this look better is instead of going into this transform page, I'm gonna reset that. We'll go back into here and we'll add a transform node right here instead of doing it out here. That way we can play with our spline editor up here and really make everything look smooth and nice. So what I'll do is on this first frame, I'll put a center and a size node. And then I'll go to like frame 95 and I'll add another keyframe on the center and size node. I'm gonna make my spline editor a little bit bigger and shorten this window. Click this to be able to show where your graphs are. And as you can see, there's no change yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and zoom it in and reposition so that my face is in the center right there. Now you've got this really goofy slow zoom thing going on. What I want to do is change this so that it comes faster. It goes like phew, phew, and then slows down at the end. So I'm going to click on the spline editor, and then for my Mac users, click Command A. That'll open up your spline editor. For my Windows editor, click Control A. It should do the exact same thing. Command A, and then just simply click S. What that'll do is that's going to bring up, it'll smooth out the animation. What that does, as you can see, is it starts slow, speeds up a little bit, and then goes slow again. Which is good, but what I want it to do is go fast. So I'll select both of these down here, and I'll just bring this up so that it's going to go fast and then slow down over there. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks great. Add a little whoosh sound effect. I think that looks awesome. And now what you can really do to make this look better is go into the settings page on your transform and click motion blur. I'll raise the quality up to about 7. And it just gives a little bit of, makes it look a little bit realer. Now, if you want more motion blur, change your shutter angle and that'll add or take away. So yeah, that's about it for effect 1. You can do those things to add a little bit more. But yeah. And yeah, that's about it for this first effect. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Object tracking. Effect 2. Object tracking. The second effect I'll be teaching you is object tracking. Use this when you want any type of object, text, or graphic to be tracked onto a moving object on the screen. This could also be a player moving, my hand waving around, my head moving, something along the lines same as the camera tracking, except we're tracking an object onto it instead of the movement of our screen. This is one of my favorite effects because it'll make my edits feel way more interactive and engaging. All right, second effect, we're back in DaVinci. If you're wondering why I look different, just move on. All right, so I got this clip from a vacation video I did with my family. When I look at this clip, I can see my sister right here, and I think I want to put something above her. Let's put her name. But I think what I want to do is I want to track it to her head, so that it follows her movement as she walks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new Fusion clip. I'm going to go into Fusion. We can get rid of the spline and the effects and close that window. All right, so I'm just going to have you click on the media in 1 and then click Shift Space and search for tracker. Now this is different from the last effect when we used the planar tracker. This time we're going to use the tracker right here. Now it should be connected to your node tree. And as you can see, this popped up whenever you click onto it. This little thing right here. This inner square, this inner crosshair right here is what it is exactly focusing on. And then this is like the focus area. So what you want it to be at least looking at or taking into consideration. So make sure that you are on frame 0 once again. And I'm just gonna bring this over to like right there. And then I can do that. And as you can see, it shows it right here. Now you can tweak, you know, like the width and the height and stuff like that. I'm gonna bring it to like right there and maybe up a little bit. And the more contrast that you have in between the black and the white, the better. That's why you can do it colorized or you can do it black and white. Most of the time, I'm just gonna do it black and white so that it works the best. And then I'll have it go in just a little bit more to about where her head is, like right there. And then, very simply, just gonna have you click track forward. As you can see, it's working and it's tracking that motion pretty easily, as you can see right there. And boom, if you play it, as you can see, the square or the rectangle is following her motions completely. But we want to add some text onto it. So what I'll do is I'm gonna add a text node we can get rid of the merge. I'm just gonna add a text node in and connect it to our tracker. Now I'm gonna go ahead and type Emil, because that's her name. As you can see, nothing is showing up. We can't see it, it's not connected. And that is because if we go back into our tracker node, we need to click Operation and switch the operation from none to match move. Then it shows up. So the match move is basically telling this node to match its movement from this. So this tracker node is basically just creating a ton of keyframes, and those keyframes are applied onto another object whenever you tell it to match move. If I open up the spline editor, go over here and go into tracker, you can see all those keyframes that it just created. Now, as you can see, if I play it, the word Emil follows Emil. But I don't really like where it's positioned. So what I'm gonna do is bring that up a little bit. And I'm gonna click right here on this transform node. Make sure that you're clicked onto the text node and then click transform. And it should just snap right into place in between the text and the transform. So basically what you can do here is now you can move the text around wherever you'd like it to be. And what we're gonna do on top of this is we're even gonna add an animation where this flows in. So I think, let's go to frame 4, add a size and a center transform keyframe, and we'll go, if we're on frame 4, we'll go to frame 10, so it'll take about 6 frames to get in there. And what I wanna do is have it push up into the frame, but I want it to start with really, really small to where you can't even see it, like right there. So now if I play it, this is what it looks like. So it plays, and as you can see, it goes in, but I don't want it to look that jarring. So what I'm gonna do, it's really jarring and snappy, and that's not exactly what I want for this. I'm gonna go into the spline editor with the transform selected, and I can get rid of the tracker nodes, and boom, this is what we have right here. And they're on top of each other because they basically take the exact same path. So what we'll do is we'll click onto the empty space in the spline editor and click Command A and then S. And that gives us a nice curve. But once again, what we want to do is have it go in quick. So I'll click right there, push it up, and then I can get rid of the center. I can get rid of the size one, so I can click onto the center path one. And just have it do basically the exact same thing. And now that we've done that, before I go ahead and play this, I want to click settings and then once again add motion blur to the text. As you can see, it's already added a good amount of blur onto that text right there. I can change the quality. I think 8 is about good, and bring the shutter angle up just a little bit. And here's what the final product looks like. And it's completely tracked to her the entire time. Once you learn the basics of Fusion, you can really build up on top of these and make them look even better, but this is just a simple thing that you can do to add on top of it. Eventually in the future, I'm gonna be doing a full breakdown on the Fusion page and what you can do to make every single edit work and flow easily in Fusion. Now we can go ahead and move on to the last, most complicated, but definitely the coolest in my opinion, 3D text tracking. Effect 3, 3D surface tracking. So this last effect is 3D surface tracking. This lets you attach text or objects into your environment like they actually exist in the real world. For example, if this camera was moving, I could track the text and have it be floating behind me. This could be graphics stuck onto a wall. This could be more text following the ground. There is a way of doing this in the paid version of DaVinci that is much easier and looks much better, but for now, we're only gonna be going over the free version. All right, so again, we're gonna go ahead and open DaVinci. I've got my clip right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drag that into my timeline. I wanted to get a clip that'll really show you guys how it'll track. So my idea for this clip is have the text right here, it'll spin with it, and then go out of frame. All right, so again, we're gonna go ahead and select our clip, go into Fusion. All right, so you're gonna wanna go to the beginning of your timeline, click on the media in, click shift space, and then add, once again, a planar tracker node. All right, once you guys have that planar tracker node in, I want to make sure that you guys are clicking on it, and then see on this white part of the wall, there's absolutely no detail for it to click onto. So like if I were to track it from this point, this is what would happen. And I can just do a random one like that. If I were to click track right there, it completely changes and it doesn't work out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the beginning, click set, and I'm gonna give it some reference points to look at. I'm gonna give it that, give it that, give it that, and we can move it. It's just taking that data right there. Click hybrid point area. We can track it right there. And as you can see, let it do its thing. It's tracking the spinning motion. It's tracking all that data, and it'll push forward. And you want to do it like a brick wall would work really well for this because it has all those different points. But now that I play it, you can see it has all that motion and it goes through. Once you've done that, go ahead and go back to the beginning, click media in, and go ahead and add a track, or go ahead and add a text, sorry. I'll just have it say, hello. Once you do that, go ahead and click on the planar tracker. Go down and click create planar transform. It should pop up with this node right here. Now that you have this planar transform over here, go ahead and come over under the text while holding shift, go over the line right there. As you can see, it highlights up a little bit. That brings it onto there. As you can see, it's now connected. And now if I play this, it is tracked to our scene. All right, now that we have that, let's make this look a little bit better. Go ahead and click on your text, click shift space once again, and look for the corner positioner node. Once you add that, it'll be in your space. And this is where you can tweak it and put it in the right spot that you want it. And now we know that the wall is right here. So what I could do is I can go ahead and go over here and line it up with the corner edges of these walls. And as you can see, like the line of the poster right there, I can use that as a guideline to really make it fit. And the text is too small here, but what we can do is just go in here, bring the size up, and then I want to transform it a little bit over to this way so that it is actually in the spot that I wanted it to be in. Now let's go ahead and click play and see what it looks like. Wow. That looks great. Now from here, what you can do with this, you can really do anything with this text. What I recommend, you can add a black shadow right here. Maybe change the opacity, maybe change the softness and stuff like that. But what I think you should do, because I don't really like this one, I would click shift space once again, add a drop shadow. Add a drop shadow node. And then back to this drop shadow, I'll change the angle to match this right here. I think that looks decent. Again, you can tweak this text as much as you want. You can change whatever color you'd like to. Maybe I want this color to be the exact same as the Igor poster over there. I'll go ahead and go over here. Click there. We can change the color to that pink right there. Better. And I think that looks sick. And I'm using iPhone footage. Imagine if I use my real camera with some good color grading. It can look really nice. And those are the 3 free tracking effects you can do in DaVinci Resolve right now. If this video helped you out, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more editing tutorials, and comment what tutorial you guys want next, because I'm going to be posting more DaVinci Resolve tutorials, YouTube editing tips, and filmmaking content very soon. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.